it's Gabrielle Roman. You're watching the Bare Knuckle Show, and it's fight week.
Now Torres into the clinch. Halftime play, and down goes Christian Torres. 1-1-2. Big left uppercut to the body, and that drops Nathan Mitchell for the second time here in round one. Zip covering up, and we're in one knockdown apiece. 4, 5, 6. Hands high and tight. Calmus coming forward. Good left hand on the counter from Fernie.
He's got to keep his hands up. He keeps grabbing him with one first offensive attack.
Right hand, left hand, big shots, and that drops Kerry Latimer. The referee, Chris Shaw, taking a really close look. Solid knockdown in round 3 in favor of Kerry Caprio.
It's fight week. We're here. We're back at it again, all the way live from Satellite 5. I'm Brian Soscia, your host, and we always have fun comedy on Tuesday. A lot of stuff to get into. Today, no different. David Feldman, you know who he is, the man responsible for this whole federation, this whole bare knuckle fighting championship. He's going to be stopping by to hang out today. We'll talk about everything's been going on recently. It's always fun to hang out with Dave. Also, fan favorite, the Shark, joining us, Zach Calmus, and have his battle with Josh Freeman this Friday night. We'll talk to him, find out what's going through his mind. You never know. He's always unpredictable in the best way possible. And then, you know what? Forget about it. Let me cut myself off here because this is my favorite part of the show. Not only do I get to say hi to you and be excited that we're all here, and I look at the chat, you're all excited. Looks like Red Rims is in the chat, Belinda, Big Ben, everybody's here, man. It's great. I love it. So the other thing I like doing is I like to check in with, now he is Disrespectful Brandon. Very disrespectful. He went from being, if you're following, he went from being broke at Brandon when he would ruin things. Then he did well in the new year. He was becoming Successful Brandon. And now he's Disrespectful Brandon because he interrupted Chris Little's interview a couple weeks ago. He's working on success. He's working towards success. Where are we at? Yeah, where are we at now? Brandon, how are you?
Hey, 14.
So you just scribbled up the 7.
Yep.
You're that short, it's going to be done today, huh?
No, I didn't feel like, yeah.
Shut that door. It looks like trash back there. Oh, gosh.
Oh, shit. I forgot to shut the door.
Yeah, I know. There's all our stuff we just throw out there. That's all right. You're still successful. We love you. But here's the thing. He's getting better with successfulness, but he's starting to carve this niche, out of being disrespectful. So people are tending to figure this out. And next week, we're going to have Jade Masan Wong on here. Excited for that. And she had, let me actually start this myself. You haven't seen this yet. She had this video to deliver. She had this message to deliver about coming on next week.
Disrespectful Brendan, I'm coming next week to teach you some respect. You do have good taste in pictures.
Oh, she must watch the show all the time. She knows your taste in photos. She knows how disrespectful you are. She's going to take it to task next week. Maybe it'll air on OnlyFans. I don't know what she's going to do. I just know that she's here to disrespect you back, how you've been doing it to people. So we're looking forward to that. Did you expect that video from Jade?
Nope. Thank you. Thanks for setting that up for me.
You're welcome, buddy. I'm glad you liked it. Well, we're excited to talk to her next week. That'll be a lot of fun. But before we get into the big show and all, as far as we're going to Manassas, Virginia, and a lot of us locally, we're in Philadelphia. So if you're in the area, it's probably about a 2.5-3 hour drive. We're driving it. I know you're driving it too. When do you leave?
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. Are you excited for the 3-hour drive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You gonna go down there? Who you riding with? Anybody? You going by yourself?
I think I'm riding with Evan, but we'll see.
Okay. If you don't screw up today, Evan is actually absent from the show today. He has some personal personal affairs to take care of, but we'll be getting him back on here soon. So let's continue on. This is the thing we like to do when we kind of bond with you. We get to know you more. You send stuff in, so we tend to do it like this.
It's time for Mail Call.
There it is. On point today. You're doing great. Success is within your reach. All right, so let's see. Oh, the first one comes in from Gator Wrestler. He's a regular fan of the show from Reddit BKFC. He runs that on his Instagram. And his wife, Belinda. Apparently, they're sending more. Well, not that. They're sending more peanut brickle, too. But Gator Wrestler has this alligator. And we talked about Apollo Creed last week, passing away, Carl Weathers. And he said, in Happy Gilmore, he gets his hand chomped off. I own the gator that chomped off his hand. I love that we have friends in high places like that gator wrestler. Thank you for sending that in. He follows the show, wanted to add to it. We love that. And we love the peanut butter, pecan, whatever the hell it is, brickle that you send in. We love that too. We're waiting for that. And then also, Taylor Starling. This is cool. Taylor Starling in demand, making the media rounds. She was on probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest show in all of South Carolina, the Rise Guys this morning, promoting Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, the app. And they're excited to have her on again, hopefully. We're a big fan of the Rise Guys. I want to thank them for having Taylor on. I think we have a clip somewhere from the interview. You can see a little bit of what she was talking about.
To the amateur scene, and I just remember winning my first trophy, my first fight boxing. I did it, and I won a trophy, and it just, like, tickled something. I was like, man, I want to get more trophies. Yeah. And I just wanted to keep going at it, and I kept going at it, and I was like, man, I want to get a check from this. And I just kept climbing. It was a grind. It was hard. It wasn't something that was easy. It took lots of years of like putting something into myself. And you know, once I finally got to, I used to tell people like, man.
Definitely. There you go. Just a quick clip showing you Taylor's out there. As other fighters, send them in. We want to see your clips. Promoting the good word of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship on the air with the Rise Guys. Like I said, huge show, the biggest show in South Carolina. So we love that. Good morning show radio with Taylor. Thank you for doing that, Taylor Starling. The Killer Bee, always out singing our praises in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. The other thing I wanted to shout out, this is a box that came in, and I'm going to open it here. We love when snail mail comes in. I have it down. Hold on. All right, this is, I can smell it. I already have an idea what it might be, but we'll see. They didn't show me what was in this yet. Oh, nice. Dude, we mentioned this last week on the show, and here it is. GSD, baby. Get shit done. He wants us to try it. I did try one of these after the show because Evan was telling me about it. This stuff's like Yoo-hoo. You can chug it down. I mean, it just goes down, and then you get all hyper and pumped up like me. What else is in here? Espresso, we love that. Thank you. GSD's got some K-cups in here for us. And, oh, look at that. Some bracelets, some stickers. I love it. Thank you. Get shit done coffee, man. We're going to be sipping that after the show more. Thank you for that so much.
Crack one open.
Didn't you already crack one open? Are you already drinking one back there? I might. So we'll drink the coffee first, and then immediately after we'll get in the bucked up. We'll be bouncing off the walls. It'll be amazing. So we appreciate it. Get shit done coffee. We know you support our product as well, and we support you. Thank you so much for sending that in. Next thing I want to get to ahead of the president coming on is, what's next? Oh, I get the backward sheet rundown. I hate when they print like this. Charlie in Newcastle. I might say this wrong. I'm not from the UK. Charlie in Newcastle upon Tyne. I guess that's where he's from. That must be it. Heard us talking about our heavyweight champ, Mick Terrell, and he sent this in. Last week we were mentioning about he was drinking the Forged Irish Stout, and there it is. Mick Terrell posting a picture with Conor McGregor. What great quality there. Look at that great quality. But hey, you know what? We love it. Our heavyweight champ hanging out with Conor McGregor. And, you know, one of the things we're going to talk about later with Dave Feldman is that partnership with Conor's Forged Irish Stout, and what a big deal that is for us. Another piece of mail coming in I want to get to really quick. It was a request, let's see, for a request for Valentine's Day content from our beautiful and lovely, that's what he wrote, female fighters. And then he wrote, what a creep. Videos and photographs, please. XOXO. And he calls himself, ready for this? Big John. But, you know, we tend to cater to creeps as well. You're one of our fans. So we do have some Valentine's Day content we found. Here's Crystal Pittman sending a Valentine's Day greeting, a video greeting essentially, to her man, Captain Deadpool. But creepy Big John, you can think it's for you. Let's watch. I might have to mute this because of the song. I don't know. I could just commentate it, but it might get me in trouble, and I might get punched in the face. I'll say, Big John, this is for you. And anybody that thought this was sexy, you can go to her Instagram page and watch it. It's probably sexier with the music, not having my voice talking over. So I'll be quiet for a moment.
It's just silent.
It's weird. I don't know what to do.
You got to commentate.
But I feel like I'm ruining it. What do I say? Big John. There she is. Is that better if I talk? We should get the guy that narrates for us that one thing to be like, here she is, Big John. That's what we should do. That dude who what's he narrating on?
Where's Pittman? What state is she from?
State of Euphoria.
No. I'm trying to set it up. I'm trying to
Florida.
Set up the voice.
I think she's in Florida, yeah.
From the sandy beaches of Florida, Crystal Pittman.
That's how we should be talking on it. There she is, Crystal Pittman. She has some photos. You wanted video and photos. Show them the photos. And again, if you want to see it, you can check out her Instagram. I thought you'd have it all queued up, man. We heard Jod say how much you looked at photos earlier.
We have a special guest.
Is he
joining
waiting?
us shortly.
Is he waiting?
Give me 1 second.
All right, we have David Feldman. I think that's who he's referring to in the virtual green room. I don't know where Dave's at in the world today. Normally he could walk in here. We are having some weather in the northeast area, the Philadelphia area, where maybe the roads weren't safe enough. We're going to find out. A lot to talk to about with Dave, though. I mean, everything from maybe he's meeting with Dana. A lot of people want to know about that. And I want to know what happened, but I more want to know the intricacies, like where did you sit? How did he greet you? All this cool stuff that we'd never be privy to. We wouldn't have a meeting with Dana. So that's going to be interesting to me. We're also going to talk about, try to get into Dish on this huge Knuckle Mania 4 card. I don't know how much he can tell us. And just what a big year. He always tells you, but this is going to be the year we'll explode. I know that because I can just see it and feel it happening working here. And if you host a podcast, if you're a fan, you probably feel that as well. We're going to talk about our partnership with Forged Irish Stout, what a big deal that is with Connor and what that's going to do for us, what that's going to look like. And pretty much anything else Dave wants to talk about. And after we get done with Dave, we're going to have Zach Calmus on here. He's unpredictable, but there's a lot to get to with him too. And we're looking forward to that as well. There'll be so much other stuff on here. It's all exciting. It's all here. Broke it, Brandon. Successful, Brandon. Whoever you are today. Disrespectful, Brandon. That's right. I forget we changed your name so much. Let's bring him in. I think we have to have the proper music for our president, our great president. So let's hit that. And let's bring him in. Let's all, do we rise? Is that what you do for the president? I don't even know. I'm going to rise. All rise for our president. Look at me. Hail the chief, Mr. David Feldman. How are you? Good to see you. It's an honor to have you here, sir.
I'm good, man. I'm just really, really happy and excited that Brandon was able to make this audio work.
It's already starting. Did you hear Jad Mussim Wong disrespecting him earlier? It was great. She just ripped. She's like, I'm going to come and disrespect you next week.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. I'm glad you had the time to get on here today. Like I said, there's some crazy weather. I don't even know where you are in the world today. You're always traveling. But thanks for coming on, man. There's a lot that they want to know, and they're going to start going nuts in the chat about it, I can feel. First of all, they want to know, they're asking why you keep disrespectful Brandon employed. That's the main question everyone's asking.
Because, everybody has to have a charity case around.
He's leaving. Don't say anything else. I'll be lost without him. I'll be lost.
Brandon's our guy.
No, Brandon's a good guy. We just mess with him. We love Brandon. One of the best guys. So a lot of stuff to talk to. I mean, it's been a while since you've been on, and a lot of stuff. I mean, you've done so much. The first, I got to bring it up first. You had a meeting with Dana White, dude, and that's huge for a lot of reasons. And I'm going to ask you what was talked about. I don't know if you're going to tell me, and we can get to that. But I'm more concerned with a couple things that I know about you from having you on with Dana. I'm never going to have a meeting with Dana White. And if I do, well, I wouldn't, because I'm loyal to here unless you told me to have a meeting with him. But what's it like? I mean, you walk in, Dana White's his powerhouse. You obviously have respect for him. What's his office like? Who greets you? Do you just walk right in? How does that all work? Do you have to go through people to see him?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a huge facility there. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, and you walk in, you got to check in with security, and then his secretary came down, or his assistant came down and got us and brought us up to his office, which was really incredible, unbelievable office, man. A gym, complete, I mean, can't even tell you how big a walk-in closet he had
in his office.
It was great, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to go into everything that was talked about, but I'm going to say, I think he tried to break me at first, to see if I was going to be a dickhead or to see if I was going to be a bullshitter. And I was just straight with him, straight shooter. And he ended up being really, really cool, helping guy. He wanted to help us. It was good. Some other things were definitely talked about, and good. We went at it, with some follow-ups, and it was great for us, right? Look, they're the biggest combat sports organization on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. And we're talking, and no matter what we're talking about, I'm not going to get into detail. If we're talking about synergies, if we're talking about them just helping us, if we're talking about, maybe them using our fighters and us using their fighters, if they're talking about investing, if they're talking about anything, mm-hmm. It's incredible, right? I mean, it's really, truly incredible that we're at that level now. And he couldn't have been any nicer. He couldn't have been, any cooler to me. And he was just a real guy. We went into just a lot of real talk, and it was a great conversation.
So, yeah, again, I mean, I'm not asking you deep into it, but I just want to know specifics, like not about what you talked about. It's just like interesting things to me because I'm weird. So you walk into the guy's office. It's a beautiful office. Where do you sit? Do you sit directly across from him, like eye to eye? You sit catty corner? Where do you sit? Do you shake hands first? Like what happened?
He's got like a front room in his office. He's got a kitchen in his office. Like it's sick, bro.
A kitchen?
It was sick, and he brought us to this one sitting room that he had, and we sat down and small talk for a second, and then he's just like, all right, guys, what's up?
Wow.
We just started talking, and at first he was like a little abrasive, and then it just became once I broke that, or he broke that in me, and knew that I wasn't there to kiss his ass, or I wasn't also there for any other reason except to talk about some things that we needed to talk 100%. About, and who I was, and he actually knew a couple of things that I've been through, so it was actually really I was impressed by that. And it's in a way I'm following his footsteps, right? I mean, we're breaking down regulatory doors, we're breaking down people's perception, we're making people believe in this thing, everything he had to do. So I don't think there was anybody more fitting for me to talk to in this industry than Dana White.
Yeah, I agree. There's people going nuts in the chat about this meeting. There's people saying you kicked the door down. I don't think he really kicked the door down, but I could see Dave doing that. But I don't think he did in this. I think we're in a good place right now. I think it was great that you got to meet him. I do have to ask you, because you spoke about this on the show before. You had a meeting with Dana White many years ago when you were trying to launch Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And I don't remember specifics. I think you hopped a guardrail or jumped a fence or something. And we're like, hey, Dana, tell him what you're doing. He said something to you. Maybe you tell the story quickly. And I want to know did you talk about that? You probably did. Did you bring that up?
Yeah, 100%. So
you did?
I went to one of his fights in Atlantic City right when I did the first sanctioned event, if you call it, but not really sanctioned, but sanctioned by a Native American reservation in 2001. And I was at his fight, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm never going to get this opportunity again. So I jumped over two of the guardrails, and I was like, yo, what's up? And he's looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like, yo, I just did that bare knuckle event. He goes, yeah, I heard about that. I said, I want to talk about, blowing this thing up and making it something big. And he was like, dude, get out of here, man. That'll never get regulated. I'll never get sanctioned. And he just turned his back on me, and I tapped him, and I'm like, isn't that what they said to you? And I was like, I'll see you at the top.
I love that.
And I said, I'll see you at the top to this guy. What a jerk off I am. But I told him that exact story, to the T.
Yeah.
And here's the picture of when you did that. And he was like, you know what? It's guys like me and you that need guys like that to tell them that they're not going to be anything, so they become something. So I'm actually glad I did that to you, because look where you are now. And really, he was like, the nicest thing he said was, look, man, I just want to say really one thing to you, man. Fucking congratulations, man. Congratulations on everything you built.
That's
so
awesome.
That was pretty cool coming from him.
That's like a full circle moment. That was really cool. Thanks for taking us through that. I guess if I say I'll see you at the top, I'll be very successful. I'll see you at the top, Dave. So maybe that'll work out for me too. Huge. Thank you for kind of dishing a little bit. The final thing I want to ask you about that, there's a lot of this in the chat, and I'm sure you've seen it, so I don't think this is hitting you out of left field. Mike Perry went on a podcast, and he claimed that they offered to buy it for like $200 million. Now, I think this is Mike doing clickbait. I don't know. I know you said you can't talk about much.
Brian, would I sell for $200 million?
No, I don't think you would.
So we don't even need to talk about it.
That's good. Don't sell for $200 million. Keep pumping this thing. Let's get it bigger and bigger, and then we can have mansions one day.
Listen, it's not the money.
It's legacy.
All the fans to really understand this. It's not the money. Mm-hmm. We're in this for legacy. And when you're in it for legacy, and when you're in it for history, and when you're in it for doing the right thing, the money comes. The money will come. I'm not worried about the money. I'm really not. I'm just worried about enough money to keep floating this business. I don't give a shit about the money. Money doesn't mean anything to me at all. It really, truly doesn't. I know you know that, knowing me. But it's about getting it to the right point where we're a household name, and we're not there yet. And I'm not in the position to change all your guys' lives yet without it being an unbelievable offer. There's no way I'd walk away from right now.
I agree. I agree, Dave.
When I age about 20 to 30 years, I probably would.
No, I'm glad you walked away from that because I thought the same thing. I thought $200 million for what this could be. That's a lower offer. So I am glad you walked away. I just wanted to kind of talk about that because it's been making the media rounds. So I understand what you're saying, and I will say this: this is really Dave. Like some people on camera, they tell bullshit stories so they sound good. Dave has said that to me in private before. He's about legacy. We've had long conversations about that. It's cool kind of inventing a sport, or reinventing, reimagining, as they say, a sport. So that is cool. Let's talk about the huge Knucklemania 4 card. What a big announcement. Our debut in Los Angeles in California. Big for us. Is there anything? I'm sure there's got to be something you can tell me. Anything on that yet?
There's really not, and I'm only going to tell you why there's not. Because we're actually doing a big deal in the Middle East and we're juggling some names around. We don't know who's going to land there and who's going to land there. We will know by Friday. Absolutely. We will know by Friday and make that announcement by Friday. Wow. So we will have a Knucklemania announcement of at least the main co-main event and feature fight by Friday. That will be announced, but I can't do it yet just because we're working on some dates. Like I said, in the Middle East, we also did something really great in the Northeast part of the United States as well. So we have 3 different things popping, and we have to do very good events for all 3 of those places. So that's why I just don't have it exactly nailed down. I will tell you that whoever you're thinking about, our top fighters or some other fighters that we might bring into the organization, they'll all fight in that time period.
That's great. Well, I got more out of that than it's actually exciting. You're not making the announcement. I was about to take you to task, be like, you come on here and make an announcement. But the announcement is, I think that's even better. We're getting, it sounds like 2 really big shows, a Knucklemania and something else that sounds like in the Middle East that could be pretty monstrous as well. Yeah,
we're doing that. And also something in the Northeast United States. So we're going to have, big announcements. I'm not saying all on Friday, but in the coming 10 days or so, we'll have 3 big announcements for us to make on fighters, on new fighter signings, on matchups we're going to have. But we're hoping to get tickets on sale on Friday. I don't know if we're able to do that yet. I'm going to know soon. So if I said the wrong thing, I apologize. But
right.
I'm trying to get on sale as fast as possible for April 27th because I think it's going to sell very fast. I mean, a lot of people don't know we've never done a show in California ever. Obviously, people know that, but what they don't know is California is our #1 viewing market. Los Angeles, in particular, is our #1 market on our app, on YouTube, and on Fubo TV. That's our #1 market. So it's great to be able to do a live show there.
Man, on the surface, I remember seeing those stats a while ago with you, and I was like, California's #1 for us. That was scratching my head about it, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense for what we do. But then if you look at it, they have a strong MMA scene. What's it, in Orange County and stuff? So that makes a little more sense there. But hey, if they love us in California, to me, Dave, that's going to make the rest of the United States easier to get legal because I feel like people look at California and what they do, and if they're accepting of us, it'll start rolling out more places. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, really within the next 2 weeks, we should have some oh shit announcements.
I like real announcements.
Not just with that, with some other things that we have coming up as well. So I'm excited about the next couple of weeks. Look, and I'm struggling through some things too. There's a lot of things that are going on that aren't that great for the business, but there's so many more things going on that are going to outweigh those things. So we're dealing with a juggling act and a roller coaster right now, but within the next 10 to 14 days, I think we're going to have some unbelievable news announced.
That's we're all excited for it. And you speak of these huge announcements and stuff and oh shit announcements, as you said. I like that. We're going to get a sound effect when we have an announcement where it's like, oh shit, these oh shit announcements. And here's an oh shit announcement. A couple weeks ago, the partnership with Forged Irish Stout, huge for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. But I argue it's pretty big for Forged Irish Stout as well. We're going to get them in front of a lot of people. But with Forged Irish Stout, as we all know, comes Conor McGregor. So I don't know the specifics of that. I just know, obviously, he's been to our show. He likes what we do. We saw him commentating on our show, watching it, saying how much fun it was, loving the knockouts. Is there any chance we might see Conor at some shows coming up? I mean, have you talked about that at all? Maybe not fighting right away. Maybe fighting. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sure you'll see him at some shows. Absolutely. I'm sure he won't be fighting too. So
one day.
Unless I wish he would, and that would be the most unbelievable thing. But no, that's not happening. But yes, is he going to be coming to some shows? Is he going to be involved with some promotions and things like that? Yes, absolutely. We're talking to some other things about him overseas as well. So there should be some really cool things coming out with him as well. And look, man, anytime you can get the #1 combat sports athlete in the world talking about your product, you can't go wrong there.
No, it's gigantic for us. And when I saw that, I was like, I know you have to make money on deals like that, but I was like, who cares about money? It's more just marketing. I'm a marketing guy, and I think it was huge for us.
How much are you paying? Conor McGregor's got how many followers? I don't even know what he has, 100 million followers, whatever he has. How much do you have to pay someone to promote your product if they have 100 million followers, right? So whatever the deal is, whatever he's giving us, which they are giving us some money, but it's just a fantastic partnership.
Yeah, and you're seeing these roll out. That's what I was talking about earlier, Dave. I don't remember if you were on. My brain's tired, but that's what I was saying. We're seeing this level up. Even in sponsorships, you're seeing it. We've moved up to Grunt Style. They're big. You got Bucked Up Energy. They're big. So you're seeing all these more desirable sponsors as we level up. And it's no knock, but we had Mary Jane's House of Glass on one of our first events. You know what I mean? So it's a big difference. They're great, but it's a big difference. And that's exciting. And that's how I can tell people are really taking notice of us. Over in the chat here, it says that LA has a population, Billboard Nerds saying, of 3 million plus. This event's going to be nuts. Will Cali be in a larger venue? That's what Gator Wrestler wants to know. Do we know that?
The venue, it'll be in a 9,000 seat venue.
All right. That's good. That's a big venue. And then I don't know if you can answer how you want to answer it, but I'm excited to hear your answer. I saw it earlier in the chat. Somebody said, you're talking about if 200 million was your number. It's not about money, they said, but they said, what's Dave's number? I mean, that's bad negotiating if you give us your number, but I am curious. What would your number be? They want to know. How do you answer that?
I mean, yeah, you have to set goals, right? If you want to accomplish big things in life, you have to set goals. And it's never been a financial number, but it's like holy shit, that guy really did that. $1 billion. There has to be a B behind it for it to make sense right now. Now, listen, again, it's not about the money, but it's about like how many people can say that in their life, right? How many people can say that they were literally seconds away from jumping off a fucking bridge to building $1 billion business, right?
Yeah, man.
To me, and that's what it's about.
It can be, your book can be From the Bridge to Billions. And I'm not making fun of you. I really mean that. It's an inspirational story. If you've never heard it, I encourage you to ask Dave about it when you see him, and we could talk about it another time. We have a little more time. But, I mean, before we let you out here, we have Zach Calmus coming up, the Shark, unpredictable, fan favorite. He's crazy. He actually said on the phone to me when we were talking the other day, he said that he goes, I think Mr. Feldman loves me. I think he enjoys my fights. So Zach Calmus is going to be on our show coming up in Manassas, and he's a fan favorite, like I said. He's a tough guy. What's your read on Zach Calmus before we get to him in a couple minutes?
I mean, I love his fights. I think he's a really good person. He did something that pissed off us a little bit once, and he apologized for it and made up for it. And he's a good dude, and he comes to fight his ass off, right? That's what I say. Fight your asses off. And he comes to fight his ass off every time, and he promotes the hell out of the business.
He's pumped.
And he's always good about us. He's a good dude, and I'm glad to have him as part of the roster, and I'm really glad to have him fighting this weekend.
I'm excited to see him fight this weekend. Talk about promoting. When I was speaking to him the other day, he was walking around a mall in his bare knuckle gear on the phone. I could hear him, like everybody knew him. They're like, oh, hey, it's the Shark. And they're stopping him on the phone, and he's like getting separated from his wife and stuff so he can talk bare knuckle, and his wife's like walking away. That happens to me. I start talking bare knuckle when I'm out and I'm not working. Next thing you know, I don't know where my wife went. I got to find her. So actually she gets involved. She knows the product pretty well. So
I start talking bare knuckle when I'm out with my wife, and I had to see she went home on me.
Then you say to her, with all due respect, be like, you have a great job, but talking bare knuckles was paying for our home. That's what I always say. You know what I mean? It works out that way. But like you said, it's about legacy. I'm sure she's very proud of you as well. It's been fun to watch you grow in business, and I continue to do that too.
You don't know everything that's going on yet, Brian, but the next 2 weeks are going to be real exciting for BKFC. Really, really exciting.
Well, I'm excited. I've been excited since day one here, and I'm excited to watch what we're building. Excited when you can make time to come on wherever in the world you are. You're negotiating, you're moving around. It's a good time for you. I'll see you in Manassas. We're excited for that. We hope to have you back on in studio. I want one of your. It's been a while since we had Brandon, don't you think? It's been a while since we've had one of the Diamond Dave Feldman interruptions when he just walks in unannounced, sits down and takes over the show and just starts taking questions. We got to do that soon, and I want to kind of promote these from now on as a David Feldman State of the Union address. We'll get more organized, and we have State of the Unions every couple months because you make more sense than our president. You don't have to say anything, but our United States president. And I know our numbers are huge on Rumble, so all the Rumble people just got very excited that I said that. David Feldman, hit the music on his way out. There he is. I'll let you go to your Oval Office and do whatever you need to do. He said, I am not a crook. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Thank you, David. I love talking to the president, man. Turn it off. I don't want to feel like I'm the president. I'm getting nervous. I don't want to have all that responsibility. David Feldman, the best president in combat sports world. That's what you're calling him in the chat. We have Zach Calmus coming up in a couple minutes. We're going to talk to him as well. But yeah, it's always good to hear from Dave. I like the intricacies. I wish we could have gotten more. One day we will into it. What it was like. He can't talk much about Dana, I guess, but when he can, we're going to do a deep dive. I want to know not only where he sat, did Dana perhaps give him a drink, a coffee? Did he serve him something? This is stuff we're never going to experience. So it's cool because Dave is like one of the most real people in combat sports, as you're saying in the chat. So he's going to be telling more stories in the future, especially when he can talk more. We got to watch it now. I want to remind anybody, wherever you're watching, hit those hearts, man, and let people know what we're doing here because we're growing. Like I said, our numbers on Rumble, gigantic on some shows. YouTube, hit the heart if you're watching there. Instagram, boom, 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 hit the heart. Share it. Tell your friends. It's amazing to be, at this point, I believe we're probably the most watched Bare Knuckle show. I love it. I'm so proud of it. And I know Brandon is as well. Zach Calmus up in a couple minutes. Again, hit the like button. Let people know what you're doing. Boom, boom, boom. I want to see the hearts. Smash the hearts. Smash the hearts. I'll smash my head if you smash the hearts. Smash them. Here they come. I can see them. Keep them smashing the hearts. Yep. All right. Back to... Oh, they're still coming. I don't want to keep hitting my head. I'm making a career of hitting my head off things. It doesn't make much sense. I shouldn't do that. I just get excited, and I don't know what else to do. All right. I want to talk about James Get Down Brown. He's coming up in Manassas. We're excited for him. James Get Down Brown is a guy you've seen fight here before. James Get Down Brown, undefeated, of course, from Wilmington, North Carolina. If you don't know a lot, you're just getting to know him. I think he's trying to go 3-0, so he's trying to stay undefeated against the Gladiator, Bovar. I think we have some type of video or pictures of this as well. I just know I'm excited. I'm excited to show him because I'm excited about the featherweight. It's a showdown. It's live on the app in Salisbury. And, this is Brown's first fight since he stopped Mike Alvarado, BKFC 41. That was back in April, I think. So, he's probably pretty excited to remind the big division, the featherweight division here, who he is. We did contact him for his thoughts, and he said that I guess BKFC sees the Gladiator as a title contender in the division. They think he can make it up the rankings and get the belt. That's fine, but he's got to get past me first. He then went on to say, that's my goal also, to grab the belt. He went on to predict that he'll rack up a second straight stoppage victory. He says he's more than happy to fight anyone to get a shot at the BKFC World Featherweight Champion Kai Heftybag Stewart, who's 5-0. He said, I've been calling out Brandon Allen for over a year. I've been calling out Louis Lopez. I'm fine with the fight with Howard Davis, too. I'm happy to fight anyone at 145 pounds. So there you go. James Get Down Brown. What a great nickname as well. James Get Down Brown. We're excited to see him in fight Manassas, see where his career will take him. Just keep that in mind. This guy's ready to go. If you want to read more about him, bkfc.com. It's all up there. But I'm excited to see where he's going as well. Let's see if he gets to 3-0. Also want to talk before we get to Zach, because I think he's not here yet, is he? He's not here yet. Okay. So as we're waiting for Zach, I want to talk about how we've been pretty big in the influencer world. It just seems to happen. Everybody wants a piece as we grow. G. Perez, Cutman, we love him. Apparently he's having some beef with, I'm out of this world, but an influencer named Austin McBroom. He's pretty big. And this was put out by G. When the cut man knocks me out in BKFC, that must be Austin McBroom. He's making fun of him. They've been going back and forth. Maybe that's a fight we're going to see. I don't know, but it looks like there's something in the pipeline for that, at least with G trying to call him out. And the reason I bring that up is because with influencers, aside from just us, you've probably seen it. Sean Strickland, he went to spar with that influencer who I didn't know because I don't know influencers. Sneeko. We have video of this. He was sparring with Sneeko, and he basically just beat the shit out of him. They told him to stop, and he just kept doing it. So let's watch that video real quick.
This bar requires 90 kgs to bend. Can the two of the strongest men I know bend it?
What's that?
You sent me a short. These are weird to look
I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, this is what we're going to watch now. He's beating this guy up sparring. You may have seen it. If you don't see it, it's fine. I can tell you.
I might have to open it up again from your message.
Don't worry about it. But it's basically him beating this influencer up, this sparring, which I'm all for it. I mean, beat him up. It's great. But I guess some people saw that as bullying, and maybe, I don't know, maybe he shouldn't have done it. But then
I'll pull it up in a second.
I don't know that's your personal life. I don't care if you pull it up. We're working right now.
No.
Put both your hands up.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're saying. You're going to pull it up back there. I'm nervous. And
our internet's being stupid now.
Go figure. Well, I'm explaining it. Don't worry about it. If you get it, you get it. If you get it up, you get it up. But
Sneeko just fought a UFC fighter and almost died. Sneeko challenged former UFC champion Sean Strickland to a sparring match, but he had no idea that Strickland is known for his hard sparring sessions, and this is how it turned out.
Threw in the towel.
Yeah,
Two towels.
Stop. And he just keeps beating him. I'm going to teach you a lesson, he says.
Do you respect Sneeko for still standing? Sneeko just fought
I guess
UFC
so. I would have dropped if I was Sneeko. If I knew it was over, I just would have dropped. I don't care. I'm not going to get my head beat in. But that pissed off Bryce Hall, who's fought for us before. You remember Bryce Hall. And Bryce Hall started contacting Shane Strickland saying he had a beef with him. And they're going back and forth. And Sean's like, I want to beat the hell out of this kid. So here's some of the, I mean, I don't have my glasses on and I'm old, so I can't see that. But here's some of the DMs that were being posted. These guys are going back and forth. So look, he knows he's down. Is it going to happen? I don't know if it's going to happen. Bryce Hall, Sean Strickland. I wonder though, because Bryce has been really training to box. So, I mean, he does have some skill. We've heard people say that before. I'd be interested in seeing a sparring match between these two as this heats up online. And the other reason I'm bringing up Bryce Hall and Sean Strickland is he's been in the news a lot. Apparently, I don't know if we can show this. I don't know if we should or we shouldn't, but I know I can tell you what happened. The Misfit, Christine Faria, was on a show recently, and she was speaking out about him, saying he's boring. I guess they're both from Vegas, and he's a boring fighter, and just kind of saying some stuff about him. Well, he didn't.
I mean, when you watch a boring fight, Strickland versus whatever that other guy. Was, man, it's the worst. Because I was like, okay, the guy's from Vegas. I really don't like Strickland too much. You know, he says dumb shit about women.
If the females MMA were to separate from male MMA, no one's gonna watch this shit.
I mean, I have better technique than he ever will. So, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. I've never had a fight as boring as his the other night, ever in my life. So I don't know what he's talking about. He just needs to go back.
She's being honest. I mean, that's how she feels. And I guess he got wind of that and he wrote something to her. And then I saw last night, I think the Weekly Bust may have reported it. I saw last night that apparently they're meeting up. Christine Faria, our champion, she's tough as nails, man. She's meeting up with Sean Strickland. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to spar. I don't know if they're going to talk, but they're meeting up on Friday, apparently in Vegas. We'll have more for you on that as soon as we receive more on that. But an interesting development. I mean, it's all over social media lately. Let's go back to the chat, see what you guys are thinking. They're excited for a lot of stuff. Like, that's something we should bring up while we're waiting for Zach. Yeah, I think they're getting Zach ready. We have some news we're going to break later on in the show. I'm going to tease you with that because I just got a text message about that. And that will be after we speak with Zach. There's so much to talk to with Zach. Look at this. This is one. Let's see. How many? One announcement. All right, we have at least two announcements today after this. One you may know, one you may not, but they're big announcements. Zach Calmus coming on in a minute. We're going to talk to him about everything, including his fight coming up. Zach's had a very interesting life. I know we only have him for a couple minutes. I think he was a little late with the call-in, which drives me nuts. You know that. About 10 minutes late. I'm going to take him to task. Is he there?
I was just talking to him on the phone. He's joining.
What's the issue?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just said, I was like, hey, it's Brandon from the... It's disrespectful,
Did you
Brandon.
say that?
No, I didn't say that.
Not gonna know who the hell you are.
I should have though. I should have been like, get the fuck on. Yeah,
that's your gimmick. You got to
disrespectful.
But then you got to see him, and he's probably gonna hit you. So you can't be. You can't live.
I hear you. He's coming in now. We're getting him in. We're roping him in.
Oh, I think I hear him. Do I hear him?
No, not yet.
No. Do I hear him coming on? I think do I hear him?
I don't know.
Is the shark on his way?
I wonder.
He might be. Is the I think I hear the shark. Miscue. Zach Calmus, the shark. He likes blood. He's out for blood this Friday night in Manassas, Virginia. BKFC prospects. The shark will be there against Josh Freeman. We're going to find out a lot about the shark's life coming up here. Going to find out how he's feeling. There's blood in the water. Let's get him on.
We got him in. We just got to get him to turn his camera on.
Can we just do this live? Can we watch live how he sets up? We have to do something fun here. Show with Broken Brandon.
There he is.
My man. Oh, there with his Austin 316 hat. Whoa, look at him. Zach Calmus, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Mr. Soscia? Good morning.
Pretty good. I told you I have it off by 12:50, but that means we only have 5 minutes, man. Do you have a couple more minutes before you get to your other interview? Maybe 12:55. Is that okay?
I got time. Yeah. The other one, I was on an interview for a local guy, and it just kind of ran over. And now I apologize for being late.
Don't apologize. You're in demand. I understand that. When the Sharks here, we had the Joel's theme playing when you got here. So there it is. It's again. He's in search for blood in Manassas. What's gonna happen with the Shark? You just go like this. You come through. I love it. But you're a guy that I've been interested in watching since I've seen you. You're different. You're a huge fan favorite. The fans seem to love you. It seems like you were born to fight. Some people are, some people aren't. But I got to know, like, why? Why did you get into fighting? What drove you to get into this? Was it just something you always wanted to do?
I was bullied pretty heavily as a child.
Wow.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I grew up a fat, curly-headed kid with a speech disability, and during those times, the world is cruel to overweight kids with speech impediments. You can imagine, kids are mean. Yeah. So that's why I got into fighting originally, was to defend myself.
Wow! Now you're making everyone else defend themselves, so it's worked out for you pretty well. Everyone else sees you, they're like, they cover up. So you were made fun of, you were bullied, and you got into fighting. So was it boxing right away? What was your first thing you got into with discipline?
First thing that I got into was karate. I went to a karate school that my mom brought me to learn some self-defense.
All right, well, that's interesting. So you learned self-defense. Why did your mom bring you there? I feel like, and I could be wrong, correct me, I feel like one time we were talking privately and you told me a story about a kid that stole your lunch or your bike or something, and your mom sent you out there to go get it back, and you were young. Can you kind of tell me the story?
Yes, sir. I was riding to the Little Red store to get some lemon heads.
Lemon heads.
Which, like lemon heads are like cheap, or grape, or they have different flavors, but I was going to get lemon heads. It was a hot summer day, and I rode my bike to the Little Red store to get lemon heads. And on the way back, I cut through like an old skate park that used to be there, and there was like office buildings in a big parking lot. Mm-hmm. So it was a little bit off the main road. But, it was a wealthy town, so you don't really have to worry about anything too crazy. But, kids are kids. So I got bullied by some teenagers, and they pushed me around off my bike, and they took my lemon heads, made fun of me pretty bad, and they took my bike. And that was the problem, you know what I mean? Because that was my bicycle, you know what I mean? So I got home, and my mother was only mad that I lost my bike. So she brought me down to the skate park to confront the kids who took my bike. And I didn't want to get out of the car. I was too scared because they were a lot bigger than me.
Yeah, and you're young.
So my mom had to get out of the car for me and go talk to the teenage sized kids. I was a fat, disabled youth, and I was scared. I was shook up, first of all, by the kids, and I was also shook up by my mom's expectation of what I was supposed to do.
Of course.
So I felt like I really failed her. And she ended up going there and yelling at him, getting my bike back or whatever. And I never forgot that. I never really let that go, because I felt like a big wussy. And I was, you know what I mean? So I had to I went to karate. I said, Mom, please sign me up for karate so we can see that doesn't happen again. And you know what? It paid off, because I got into karate and I liked that, and learned a lot of stuff. And then my grandfather continued to teach me how to throw punches the right way. And before long, you already know I had that. I had it. I knew I had it.
I don't like even putting that up. It makes me nervous. I don't like looking at that. It's like a shotgun that you're gonna cock. No, yeah. So your grandfather's teaching you, and if I remember correctly, a while ago, you were telling me the Greek side of your family was like really into fist fighting. So you kind of come from a family of bare knuckle fighters that might not have been like paid for it, but they're into it. And your grandfather's showing you that. Seems like it helped you a lot. But other than karate, what other sports did you do growing up? What did a young shark? What were you into?
Well, I played every type of sport. I played football. I only played a little bit but I played hockey and I played lacrosse. Problem with football was when I was a kid, when I first tried to play Pop Warner in middle school, I was too heavy to meet the weight requirement.
Got it.
So I was just too big of a kid, and I was
big.
hurting kids.
Wow, you're that big?
Stuff. Yeah, I was way bigger than other kids my age.
Wow.
And then in high school, I only played like 1 season or 2 seasons because I got kicked off the team.
Jeez.
Yes, but I was a good player. Everything kind of turned into fighting for me. It always turned into a fight.
So why didn't you play hockey then? That's the sport for you if you like fighting, right? Why don't you do that?
I did.
Oh, you did. There you go. See?
Yeah, I played all the way up until my junior year, and I didn't make varsity because they didn't take me on varsity because I was so badly behaved.
Oh, not you.
I like to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I you can't help it. You can't help you like it.
At the end of the day, all I wanted to do was go to boxing, but my mother told me if I was to be in somebody's ring, then I could go do that on my own. So I was kept out of the game as a kid for years. You know, I wanted to go to boxing at like 13 or 14, but I wasn't able to do that. So I took my aggression out other ways.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. But what people might not realize, I mean, the very informed bare knuckle fans know this about you, but not everyone does. I mean, I don't know when you started boxing, but I know for a fact you were Golden Gloves. I know you almost went to the Olympics. I mean, you were training hard, and you were very well known in your area as a good boxer coming up, and I think that's huge. How old were you when you started boxing?
I started boxing at 16 years old, and then I had my first fight at 17, my first sanctioned fight, boxing. Wow. And my mom didn't want to sign the waiver. She wouldn't sign the waiver. But my parents are divorced, and my dad signed the waiver, and he said, my dad's mentality is that if a kid wants to try something, you need to let them try it. They're going to figure it out for themselves if it's meant for them.
Yeah, that's a great mentality. I'm a father myself, and I understand that they have to figure it out, see if they like it. You don't want to influence them. Just see if they like it. If they like it, maybe they'll excel. That's a great mentality. So thank God for your father, because we love seeing you in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. The other thing I wanted to touch on is your boxing. We talked about the Golden Gloves and everything. Sparring for you. You spar. I know you spar with Blake Lacaz, another BKFC fighter. You guys are like brothers. I know that. You guys are tight. I've heard from I think it was your manager, said you basically beat the hell out of each other and become closer friends that way. And then I think you've sparred, or you're sparring currently with a boxer, right? A well-known boxer that really has helped you out a lot?
Yes, I've been sparring with Steve Vukosa the last 3 years. And Steve is 47 years old. It was his birthday on Sunday or this Monday. It was just his birthday, Sunday and Monday. My thing is that Steve's WBC Green Belt World Champ, and he was sparring partner to James Toney.
Yep.
James Lights Out Toney, when he was knocking everybody out. So, you know, obviously, like, there's not a lot of guys walking around with knowledge that's been passed down through James Toney to Steve Vukosa to Zach Calmus.
Well, it's great that it gets passed down like that to you. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you before we get you out of here is, as far as bare knuckle, to me, you're a guy. Dave Feldman was on earlier saying he loves watching you because he just loves you fight. You come to fight, and that's what you do. But why? Like, what was your first experience? How did you find out about Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? How did you end up here? Who introduced you to it the first time?
So I was in the gym, and Mr. Chris Sorrow.
Chris Sorrow, another Golden Gloves guy.
Yeah, he was getting ready for his first or second bare knuckle fight, and this was 3+ years ago. And I was still an amateur boxer at the time, and he came in looking for sparring, and we gave him the sparring. And that's kind of, you know, how I started really deeply considering going to the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and trying to figure out how to get involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's so Chris Sorrow comes in, he tells you about it. And then, sorry, I'm reading the comments because they love you. Whoa, what are we seeing? Let's look around. What do you got there? Let's look around. What do you have? Is that a dog? Yeah, it's a dog.
That's my buddy.
What's your dog's name?
That's King.
Oh, nice to meet you. How are you? And give a big belly pat. Is that your only dog?
He's one of two.
How old?
I have two pit bulls that are 13.
Oh, good for you, Zach. I love it. Why would you have anything else but pit bulls? And you know what? Pit bulls don't get the credit they deserve when they're raised the correct way. You got a big fight coming up. We're excited. We were going another way, but I know I have like one more minute with you. I want to get this in because we got to talk about Josh Freeman. What do you know about Josh Freeman, the guy you're fighting this Friday night?
So I've been watching a lot of footage of Mr. Josh Freeman. I was sent some fights of his from Street Beefs. He was in Street Beefs, which is like I don't want to say it's sanctioned fighting, but it's organized.
Yeah,
fighting.
it's tough. We know. I mean, most people watching probably know it. If not, look it up. We're a little more no knock on them, but we're a lot more organized of fighting company. It's just a different variety, like an ice cream shop. It's different if you like it. So we know what it is. Street Beefs. So he fought there. That says to me he's probably pretty tough. He's a big guy like you. What do you do to beat him?
He's a big lefty. So I got experience in fighting lefties. As I fought Juan Torres, and I took Juan Torres the distance in Louisiana. I think I definitely showcased a lot of boxing skills in that fight. And then if you really look at me as a fighter and an athlete, I haven't been knocked out since I fought Bobo. So I haven't been knocked out.
Wait a minute, hold on. You haven't been knocked. That's what I was going to actually ask you. I was trying to think in my head the last time you've been knocked down. That was what? That's got to be 2 years ago, right? You and Bobo?
Well, that was about 2.5. In April, that'll be 3 years that I fought Bobo.
Wow, and you've been around that. Oh, wow, time flies, I guess. But you haven't been knocked down since that day. So we'll see if Josh Freeman's the guy to do it. I don't know if he is, but Zach Calmus is tough with his Austin 316 hat. That means it says, I just whipped your ass. So that means I'm going to whip your ass. That's probably why you're wearing the hat. We appreciate you coming on. I know you got your other interview and you're up against it. I feel like I'm cutting you off. I could talk to you all day. We love Zach Calmus. We're excited for him this Friday night. Put those fists up. Makes me go like that. I told you I'm nervous. But Zach, one of the nicest guys in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, also a pro wrestling fan. Possibly see him in pro wrestling one day from what he told me. We'll talk about that another time. You're the man, Zach Calmus, the Shark. Go on your other interview. I hope I didn't make you too tired for that.
Thank you, Mr. Soscia. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Zach. Good to talk to you, buddy. There it goes.
See you guys tomorrow.
See you, man. He's man. What am I, Jamaican? See you, man. See you, man. He's in search. See you, man. He's in search for blood.
Okay, man.
See you, buddy. Oh, Zach's always fun, man. I wish we had more. If he didn't call in late, man, we could have got so much more to get to. We're gonna have to have him on another time. I don't know what happened with them calling a little late, but we love Zach, so we'll deal with it because Zach's a good guy. Next time we'll be on time. Let's see where else we're going here. Check my rundown. Okay, this is interesting. So this is something that I saw before we get out of here. We have some announcements to make, but before we do them, we talked about Forged Irish Stout with Conor McGregor, how we're doing watch parties across the country in different, we'll keep you updated. Our latest one was in Philly. We talked about it last week. Now, Brandon and I, we got into a friendly argument before the show. He claims we showed this last week. We may have. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember what I did 20 minutes ago. I don't remember what I did to start the show. But let's show it. We can't play the audio, but something that jumped out when I was watching this the other night. Everyone's having a great time. You see Conor's UFC belt there, the BKFC belt. That guy right there. Can you pause that? That guy. If you're in the Philly area, that guy's legendary. They call him Dunphy. This guy, I think he first showed up. I could be wrong. I think it was the Phillies when they maybe were in the World Series. This guy's whole body, big fat guy. He's tattooed. He never wears a shirt. His whole body. I think I sent you a picture of him too. Don't we have pictures? Yeah. So this is his body. And if you notice, he's got Gritty on there. There's the Philly Fanatic. The belly button is the mouth. Locally, if you're a sports fan, I think he went viral. But you know this guy, the big I-95 sign. He's got all the Philly landmarks in there. And he was at the party. I didn't realize that last week if we showed it. That guy, Dunphy, gigantic. Actually, what's that guy's name? Kelsey, not the guy that won the big game. His brother that played for Philly. Travis is the dude with Taylor. The other guy, Jason, right? Jason Kelsey from the Eagles. I was watching an interview where he just brought him up randomly. This guy's legendary. He was at the Forged Stout party. So we appreciate him coming, man. We appreciate you being a Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship fan. And we appreciate you getting those tattoos because it's not something I could do. Who would you get? Brandon, what tattoo would you get on your belly like he did? Would you get like Thug Life? Or would you have your belly button be the mouth like he did of somebody?
I wouldn't do that.
Would you? How about me? I could be your belly button could be my mouth.
The Bare Knuckle Show. I get it. We're all right there. Big capital letters.
Right where? I can't see.
Fucking.
You gotta switch cameras so I can see. Right where? Show yourself.
Fucking the bare knuckle show.
You should. Actually, I think we should have you get a tattoo that says, like, broke it, Brandon. Then when that changes, you line it out. Then it goes disrespectful, Brandon. Then you line it out. Then you know, every time you get a new nickname, you get them all down your arm. You have a whole sleeve.
You love this bit.
I love it because you hate it.
You're making fighters every time. I'm surprised you didn't have Zach Calmus say something.
I was going to. I forgot because he was late. Jade Masam Wong was enough for me. She's going to be on next week, Jade Masam Wong. And it's a quick video, so before we get to the other stuff, in case you're just tuning in, this is what he's referring to. Jade Masam Wong, we're going to have her on next week. This is the message she wanted to deliver to Brandon. Disrespectful, Brandon.
Hang on.
Play it again.
I'm getting it.
I didn't call for that till now, so he's confused.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I guess more people are tuned in. Let's take a look.
Brendan, I'm coming next week.
Restart it.
Disrespectful Brendan, I'm coming next week to teach you some respect. You do have good taste in pictures.
I think she's talking about that picture used to flash with her and Taylor, so she must watch and know that you do that. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. The tattoo would wrap all the way around you, Brandon. That's what Big Ben said. Got it on you. Let's get back to the different stuff we have coming up. We have some great tryouts on the way. You can get involved with them by going to bkfc.com/tryouts. Chris Lytle's at all of them. We film them, so you could end up on the app. Here's the next one. That's Saturday, March 9th, Colorado, bkfc.com/tryouts. Genesis Training Academy. Go there, and just even if you don't get picked, you're going to learn a lot. And next time you might get picked. And even if you don't get picked, I say it all the time, you can wind up on the TV show, so that could help your brand. Where else are we going to be for tryouts? I mean, we're traveling. We have Lytle wearing out the road. Chris Lytle going to be in South Carolina tryouts Saturday, April 13th at Black Force MMA. bkfc.com/tryouts to get involved. Come out and be put to the test. There's a lot more coming up too. bkfc.com. You can always check there for more tryout info. And all the events. They're all listed at bkfc.com. But let's kind of go through what we have coming up. We have Manassas this Friday. And then that's going to be a barn burner. That'll be a great fight. I'm looking forward to that because Prospect Series, I'm having a lot of fun with that. Zach Calmus, we just talked to him. He's going to be on the show too. Fun shows to watch. After that, we're going to be heading next to... Here it is. We'll be in Canada, of course, at the Prospect Series. We're looking forward to that as well.
That was
Jade Masam Wong. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't worry. No, I don't want to talk about it. Stop talking.
Man.
Why are you talking?
Because
I'm going to clean up your mess up. Nobody would have known. Shut up. I'm trying to help you.
Shit.
Jade Masam Wong going to be taking on Gabrielle Roman. We're looking forward to that fight. Gabrielle Roman, I was talking to her yesterday a little bit, and she's interesting to me because, that's a fight. If you look at her first fight, she came in, she wasn't even ready. She took it on very short to no notice, went to a draw. That was against Martina Kroll, I think. And then after that, no, that was her last fight. Her first fight she took on a draw. Second fight she won end of the first round, and she had more of a training camp for that. She was amazing. She went in as an underdog, so you can't count Gabrielle Roman out. I'm excited to see what she's going to do. After talking to her, she's more motivated than ever. She's looking for titles, and she's excited to fight Jade Masam Wong, and I'm excited to watch that fight. So that'll be good. That's going to be in Canada amongst many other great fights there as well. And after Canada, where do we head there? Brandon, do you have the right slate? There we go. Oh, he fixed it. Jade Masam Wong versus Gabrielle Roman. Look at them staring at each other. It's going to go down March 2nd, in Edmonton. After we leave Canada, where do we fly to next? Where do we drive to next? Well, BKFC Miami. This is a big announcement. I don't think this has been announced yet. Tickets are on sale, I believe, for this one. BKFC.com. You can get them. Of course, HD Davis versus P-Town Wilson. Sean P-Town Wilson. That's BKFC.com. BKFC Fight Night Miami, March 15th. Make sure you get involved. Live at Vivo, the Dolphin Mall. That's where if you watch the weigh-in show that we just did, that was the most recent one. That was from Vivo. It's a cool venue. So I'm looking forward to that fight. HD Davis getting back on track, and it's not an easy one for him. Sean P-Town Wilson accomplished out of, I believe Sean is out of Omaha area. So I'm excited to watch that fight. You should be too. If that wasn't announced yet, it was just announced a second ago. And then also the one after that we have coming up. I'm telling you, we are a full slate. Dave was talking about it earlier. The next one, Bulgaria, March 22nd. I'm told tickets are moving very well for that. Bulgaria loves fighting. They're going to love us too. Make sure you stream that because I don't know, unless you're watching in Bulgaria, you'll probably have to stream it on the app, bkfc.com, where you can go get tickets. You can see the website address at the bottom. It's different than normal, but I can't see it. You can probably get tickets at bkfc.com as well. It'll probably lead you there. All right, and then after that, of course, we have coming up, this is going to be our return to Albuquerque, New Mexico. John Dotson. He's such a star there, man. And I'm excited to see him come back. People are already abuzz on the streets about John Dotson coming back to defend his featherweight title. Is that a fight that you're excited for? I feel like that's a good fight. That's a fun fight, Brandon. What the hell's your name today? Disrespectful Brandon. That's a fun fight. We're looking forward to that. Of course, BKFC.com. Get your tickets now because Albuquerque is almost always a sellout. That's going to be a fun fight. From there, where do we head? We head to 3 title fights. This is in England. One night, man. James Lilly coming back. Danny Christie. The 3 title fights. Oh, you're going to see Gary Fox, John Hands of Brick Hick. They're all there. You can review this. We're back in UK. We're very excited about 3 title fights in one night. BKFC.com to grab those tickets or grab the app and watch. Again, that's coming up. That's happening on... Is there a date? Oh, April 6th. See, that screwed us up. I wish Evan was here for that. He'd get it because they write it 6 April. I'm looking around for April 6th.
6 April, mate.
There you go. So that'll be another good one. We're looking forward to that. And then after that, this is the announcement that I wanted to tell you about. Another one. BKFC Prospect Series, Salem, Virginia, 420. That's on 420. The Salem, Virginia. It's going to be awesome. We'll be there for the Prospect Series. More to come on that soon. Tickets will go on sale soon. I'm sure you can go to bkfc.com and maybe reserve your spot. If not, keep going there. Go to the app. We'll be releasing more in coming days back in Virginia at Salem, Virginia. Looking forward to that. Huge announcement. One of our latest ones here on the Bare Knuckles Show. Before we get out of here, I think is that all we have on the rundown today? I think it is. Is it? Is that it? I think we're done. He's throwing his... I'm excited. There's my rumble.
Cracker get shit done.
I should. Well, my show's over. What am I cracking it for now? Hold on. What are you doing? You're screwing me up here, my ending. Thank you, get shit done. I'm excited to try
bucked
this.
up.
And I want to also appreciate our sponsor of the show. And it's not just a sponsor. I don't get paid to say this. I don't get paid a dime. Bucked up, baby. I love it. This stuff gets me rocking and rolling. And that's how I'm going to drive to Manassas. My 3-hour drive, I'm going to crack this and just go, 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 go. So I can't wait for Manassas. Until then, thank you for joining. Spread the word of the Bare Knuckles Show. Thank you for what you did today. Hit the stars, hit the likes, whatever the hell they are, the hearts. I know I love you, and we're headed to Manassas. So get bucked up, and knuckle up. Yeah!
Now Torres into the clinch. Halftime plum, and down goes Christian Torres. 1-1-2. Big left uppercut to the body, and that drops Nathan Mitchell for the second time here in round 1. Dick covering up, and we're in 1 knockdown apiece. 4, 5, 6. Hands high and tight. In and out. Coming forward. Good left hand on the counter from Bernier. Bernie's got to keep his hands up. He keeps grabbing him this way for his offensive turn. Right hand, left hand, big shots, and that drops Kerry Latimer. The referee, Chris Shaw, taking a really